Welcome everyone to Merkaba Energy Healing. So today we're back with another pick a card reading, and this one is asking Spirit, what is going to happen after the purge? So we're going to look at what you are currently purging now and what is going to happen after the purge. And this reading was very clearly brought to me by my guides and shown to me as a collective experience, at least among light workers, that we are all purging in cycles right now. So there's purge and then a clearing, purge, then a clearing. So you might feel angst for a period of time, followed by relief, maybe even euphoria, and then replaced by a new cycle of purging, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to look at today. So we have 3 piles with 3 crystals. The first pile with the first message, we have the Heckmanite stone, and it is paired with the elephant, greatness. Pile 2 with message number 2, we have the aquamarine, and that is paired with the cat, independent. And finally, pile number 3 with message number 3, we have the blue quartz. That is paired with the humpback whale, singer. So when you are ready, you may go to the description box below to find the timestamp for your reading, and I will see you over there. Welcome, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here. So, I don't know how this reading is going to go, but it might be a little bit heavy since we're talking about purging. So please listen to it when you feel open-hearted and ready. So for the significator card, I asked Spirit to show me your strength. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on this part, but they wanted to show you what your strengths are regarding working through the purge, how you are dealing with the purge. And so you chose the elephant, greatness. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success. And that's paired with the Heckmanite. So there's a few things that come up about your strength during this purge. Namely, your thick skin. Elephants have extremely thick skins. And so I'm hearing this group can weather the storm. You're able to actually go through challenges that perhaps people around you would succumb to, would not be able to overcome. And that's actually in divine form. You're put in these situations to recognize how powerful you actually are. And they're showing me the Emperor card there. So many of you might be moving more into your divine masculine, where you're able to experience your greatness, to be in your power without apology. They're highlighting the idea that elephants that are female run it together in packs while the males leave. So there might also be an element here where you're allowing yourself to connect with females at this time in a way that feels healing. Take that as it resonates. Again, I'm not going to go too much into this piece, but they just highlighted that. They're also highlighting that there's this circular, shape above this elephant's head, denoting the third eye. So many of you might be highly intuitive and following your own path right now. Leadership is your path, but you might be guided heavily by your intuition through this purge. In other words, you might have a deeper understanding what the purpose of this particular purge is, what is purging, why, and how to move through it successfully and effectively. I'm hearing that you are very good at integrating the lessons that you're learning from this purge. And finally, with the Heckmanite, what's beautiful about Heckmanite is that it changes color depending on what light it is exposed to. It's called tenebrescence, I believe. And it makes me feel as if you guys are shapeshifters or chameleons, and you're able to really work with the circumstances within which you find yourselves. So you don't break. You might bend, you might sway back and forth, but you'll never break under pressure because you're able to move and flow with the energy that is presenting itself. So you've got a lot of spine, you've got a lot of strength, this group, okay? And that's what's getting you through this purge. So with that being said, what I want to do is I want to first look at what this group has been purging. Now, I will say that some of you might have already completed your purge and you're on to the stage of what is occurring after. So I'm a psychologist. I work with all sorts of patients and also an energy healer. So I work with clients as well. And what I've been noticing is that about half of the people that I work with are currently moving through those states of purging, which is to say they'll be purging, then they'll go through a respite period, a period of relief, a period of maybe even positivity, followed by another cycle of purging. While other people went through kind of like a dark night of the soul or a major purge, and now they're in a much bigger clearing of happiness and joy and abundance. And there's no difference between the two in terms of ascension or journey, in my humble opinion. That's just what I've noticed. Myself, I've been going through the up and down quite a bit. And whereas previously I went through longer periods of purging and longer periods of respite and rest. So it's happening differently for everyone. So I'm going to ask Spirit for my group number ones. We're going to use two different tarot decks for the two elements of this reading. Show me briefly, please, what my group number ones are currently purging. What are they currently purging? So it might be emotional. It could be show up physically. It can show up in your field of relationships. It can show up in your connection with spirit, or the connection with darkness. Energetically speaking, it can show up in all of those areas all at once. Depends on who you are and what your soul came in to do. So I will say right before I tuned into your reading, I felt very stuffy, like a stuffed nose. I still feel it now, and a little bit foggy headed. So it does feel physical on one front for this group. So I don't know if any of you guys have had really bad allergies or really bad colds or flus or just stuffy noses lately, because that came up very strongly for you guys. And I can't help but notice the trunk of the elephant. There's a big centerpiece of the nose, even though I don't know if the trunk is just the nose. I think it's more than that for elephants, but I couldn't help but notice that. Yeah. The nose is prominent for this group. I also just heard Claire aliens. So maybe some of you are clearing through the nose because your capacity to spiritually smell, let's say, is starting to turn on. Okay. Or Claire olfaction. That's another way of saying that. Okay. My highest and best spirit guides, please show me very clearly what is my group number one purging right now. Okay. We have strength. Whoa, they're just flipping over. Okay, what were they telling me to stop? Because I feel like they're going to give me a couple of different messages here. Okay, so we have strength and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, what are they purging now? Okay, so you guys might have, well, they're saying this is what they're saying to me. If it resonates, if it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. With the strength and the Four of Pentacles, they're saying that some of you might be purging the belief that, or how we say in psychology, a core belief, something you've carried with you your whole life, of inadequacy. It can be inadequacy of character, of what you offer the world, a lack. With the Four of Pentacles, this can very well be poverty consciousness. So take it as it resonates. With the Strength, what we're seeing here is that you are overcoming. You are overcoming strength and greatness with the elephant here. You're overcoming the core belief of inadequacy. Feeling like you always have to prove yourself to the world in some way. Or as if the world, the universe is lacking in what they're offering you. So you might have been feeling as if you need to hold on tight to what you have, or else you will lose control or succumb to fear. So it would look like this: the Strength in reverse with the Four of Pentacles in the upright. And what you're moving into is the Strength in the upright with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, right? So whichever way you look at it, what you're struggling with or with what you're purging is this idea that your sense of power is predicated on how much money you have in the bank, or how adequate you feel with regards to, I'm hearing, how other people receive you. So again, there's two different messages in one. Take it as it resonates. So you might feel a loss of power when you lack money, literally, or you might have felt a loss of power because you felt inadequate as you compare yourself to others, or as if you felt like you always had to prove yourself to others in some way. They're really highlighting that in this particular Four of Pentacles, it almost looks like a prison, or as if this guy is locked away and this cat is trying to find a way out. So you might have felt imprisoned by this sense of inadequacy, whether it be money or your character or your sense of self. And it might have brought you to pretty profound states of fear and disempowerment. But because this is a reading of after the purge, what we're seeing is, we'll ask about after the purge, but what we're seeing is that you're purging this sense of inadequacy and you're coming back into your power and your strength. Okay, that's the first message. I think there are going to be two, so let's get the second one. Okay, what else is my group number one's purging here, please? So, they're saying that you might have Chiron in the second house, which is the wounded healer. Sometimes I rush ahead because I know people like shorter readings, but they're saying just slow down a minute. So you might really be healing this wound around finances, worthiness, values, money. That seems to be happening right now in a strong way. Okay. What are they purging? Ace of Wands. Okay, this is an entirely different message. And then what else with regards to the Ace of Wands? I'm just hearing the word creativity. Oh, wow, the Fool. Very interesting. I do think that these are related. You guys might have felt blocked or stuck with regards to a creative pursuit, a project, starting something that really speaks heavily to your essence, I'm hearing, to who you are as a human being, almost. This sense of, this is who I am and this is what I want to produce. So if we were to put the Fool in reverse and the Ace of Wands in the upright, you might have felt creatively blocked. You might have felt as though, I'm hearing, false starts, that you wanted to start something, but you couldn't bring it to fruition. Or they're showing me that proverbial fork in the road, but there's about 4 or 5 different forks in the road. So you might have felt this sense of, I don't know what direction to take. And that actually can happen with highly creative people. And with the Ace of Wands here, it does feel as though you're very creative people. And you just didn't know what would take off. And that can hinge on the core belief of inadequacy or poverty consciousness. You might have felt stuck around your creative pursuit because you might have been worried about which path would be the most lucrative. And so I'm going to see what's going to happen after this purge, these two purges, but I want you to understand that what might be happening right now is a lot of anxiety about what path to take, a lot of anxiety about money, a lot of anxiety about whether you have the chops to go out there and do what you want to do or to be seen in the world, which is the Strength card, which is the Leo card. And these fears and anxieties are coming up right now because they are being purged. They are being cleared. And what is helping you through this purge? Your own power, your own greatness, your emperor energy. Okay? Because ultimately, leadership is your path. Taking initiative and finding your unique path is exactly what you're here to do. You're meant to inspire everyone. I mean, it says it right here. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. And the Ace of Wands is the quintessential card of inspiration. So you must be inspired by your own inspiration, by your own creativity, by your own unique soul path. And then subsequently impart that wisdom, that insight from that lived experience to others. Beautiful. So let's see what is going to happen after the purge. So first we're going to look at the Strength and the Four of Pentacles, and then we're going to look at the Ace of Wands and the Fool. So let's see what you guys have to look forward to. For my group number ones, can you show me, this is upside down, can you show me very clearly what is going to occur after the purge with regards to the Strength and the Four of Pentacles? Okay, where their power, their sense of strength and power has been predicated on their money, on their sense of adequacy. And this has been a little wonky, right? After they purge this inadequacy and this poverty consciousness and feeling as though their power is predicated on something external, okay, what is in its stead? What is happening after this purge? Show me very clearly, please. What is happening after this purge? I just feel this great sense of relief for you guys. Wow, we have Knight of Cups. It's interesting that I felt relief. This Knight of Cups is something or someone coming in to really make you feel fulfilled. But it's cups, right? It's emotional fulfillment. Knight of Cups and, that just flipped over, Death. Wow. Wow. So we are being shown very beautifully and very clearly that the end of the belief or the idea that your worthiness is predicated on something external. After the purge, you're going to see that, let me just slow down for a second. Your sense of adequacy comes from within, from your heart. I think it said it somewhere here. Yeah, right at the beginning here, it says, love is your strength. Love is your strength. So after the purge, what you're going to experience is this, I'm hearing, mighty replacement of this poverty consciousness, whether it be about money, whether it be about your power, whether it be about your sense of adequacy. You're going to know your adequacy through and through by way of your heart. So there's going to be a true death of this belief, and your strength, your power is going to be predicated on your sense of emotional fulfillment, your open-heartedness, the sense that you always had something to offer the world that was untouchable. I love it how both of these birds have their wings up, ready to fly, because that's what's going to happen after this purge. You guys are going to take off in some magnificent way. And it's because you healed something within the heart. It's not changing a belief. It's altering your attention or your focus towards your heart rather than an idea, rather than something external to you. Very, very beautiful energy. Now let's see what's going to happen after the purge with regards to this blocked creative sense or block creative or inspired action here. Okay. What is happening after the purge with regards to the Ace of Wands and the Fool here, please? I'm going to actually turn this in the reverse. Okay. What is going to happen after the purge for the Ace of Wands and the Fool, please? Okay. Six of Cups. And what else? Well, that's too many. What else is happening after the purge here, please? Yep. Okay. Wow. 10 of Swords. That's crazy. It's the same. That's crazy. It's the same energy. So we have the Death and the 10 of Swords, 6 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So, yeah. You're going to start to feel as though people are going to materialize. That whatever you have been going through, whatever's been making you feel really stuck, you're going to start getting help. And it's going to be help, again, emotionally. We don't have the 6 of Pentacles here. We have the 6 of Cups, which is very maternal energy or paternal energy. Help in a way that is very fulfilling, very heart-based, very loving. What is going to bring your spark back and make you get out of this stuck energy is actually feeling emotionally fulfilled on both fronts. After the purge, you're going to feel a return to innocence in some profound way. Whenever you feel downtrodden, whenever you feel like you're very much in your head or you're worried, someone or some emotional experience is going to show up for you. It's interesting because creative blocks often come from trauma, often come from a blocked heart chakra. In Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, which is all about blocked creative energy, specifically writer's block, she actually talks about how trauma can block the writer from moving forward. And she has this exercise called, I think it's called the Monsters Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't think I've read that book in like 20 years, so forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. But she talks about how there are these horrific memories in this Monsters Hall of Fame that need to be purged and cleared for the writer's block to clear. And that's what my guides are showing me here. That whatever block you've been experiencing in the creative realm or in the inspiration realm is because of some kind of innocence that was robbed from you or taken from you from childhood or from a very long time ago, let's say. And so after the purge, what you're going to feel is your inner child integrating with the adult and allowing itself to be guided and helped by loving, trusting people or loving and trusting energies. So that when you feel down and out, there's going to be someone or something that's going to be there to help you, to carry you, to buttress you, to support you through that difficulty. And what they're showing me is some kind of clearing after this challenge or hurt that's going to open up your creative spirit once again. And they're showing me the solar plexus chakra there. So maybe during this purge, some of you might have some stomach issues. Okay. I'm hearing sniffing out danger. So with the Lion here and the Four of Pentacles, there is this sense of you guys might have been in a sense of hypervigilance where you might have felt like you were constantly sniffing out danger to prevent something bad happening to you. Hence the frugality, hence the pulling back energy. And it's the same with the Ace of Wands, just with the solar plexus chakra rather than, let's say, the nose or the third eye, okay? So sometimes when the third eye is blocked, you can actually have a blocked nose. And that's what they were showing here. But anyway, with the Ace of Wands here and the Fool, there's this idea of the gut being blocked, the creative spirit being blocked. So some of you might have been experiencing some stomach issues. So after the purge, you might feel a great relief in the belly, this sense of I'm not alone anymore. I'm back in my power, my leadership, my greatness. And that's, again, the solar plexus chakra. And you're going to feel this because you will have healed some kind of wound or traumatic event or experience that made you feel outside of your power. And I think this is going to show up with people. So I think there's going to be a kind individual or individuals that are going to come through for you during a challenging time that you're not really going to expect. And once you have that release of, oh, wow, someone is actually here for me, or I feel a loving spirit or a loving energy, then your creativity and your creative pursuit is going to open up and be very clear. And instead of seeing 4 or 5 different forks in the road, you're going to pick one and you're just going to take off, and it's going to be very, very clear. Okay? So that is all I have for you guys. I really hope this reading resonated. Please let me know by commenting and liking the video and subscribing if you haven't already. But if nothing else, I send you guys so much love and so much healing during this purge and blessings in the aftermath. Until the next reading, take very good care. Welcome, group number 2. So today we are asking Spirit, what is going to happen after the purge? So the collective is going through a major purge right now, and some people go through cycles of purging. So there's a purge, then release, purge, then release. And other people go through long periods of a purge, followed by a long period of release and respite. So you can comment down below which one you guys have been going through. I myself have been going through the up and down, whereas previously I went through longer periods followed by longer periods of release. So what we're going to start with is the cat card that you chose with the aquamarine here. I'm clearing through my body a little bit as I start your group. So you guys are probably, I would say, through the tail end of your purge. You might be farther along than group number 1. I have to say that I almost lost my footing in group number 1. The energy is very heavy. These purges they're no joke, okay? So I send you guys so much love. Feel free to comment down below about what you've been going through. And please support each other, respond to everyone else's comments. I try to do that as much as I possibly can, but my energy has been a little up and down, so I haven't been able to reply to everyone's comments recently, but I try. So with that being said, the significator card that you chose with the aquamarine signifies your strength. So I asked my spirit guides, what is the strength of group number 2 that is getting them through this purge successfully? And you guys chose the cat card with the aquamarine. Now, what is really magnificent, a lot of you know I absolutely adore cats, is that they will often act as a familiar to their humans. So those of you who have cats, you likely have experienced this. And if you don't know, now you know. They are there to help you in your spiritual evolution. And so if you resonated with this card, it is likely because your strength is your capacity to straddle the worlds between the 3rd dimension, the 5th dimension, and beyond. That you're able to see beyond the veil. You're able to understand the ultimate purpose of the purge and not get too bogged down with it. You're quite fierce. You're quite resolute, I'm hearing, in your energy. And not a lot is going to make you feel scared. You tend to walk alone. Okay, you're not the kind of people that call many friends when you're going through it. You probably tend to work it out on your own. And in some ways, this is to your benefit when you're going through a purge. So I didn't ask what is your strength in general. I asked specifically what is your strength through this purge. Because fierce independence can be also your Achilles heel in other areas where you might not ask people for help enough. But that's not what we're doing in this reading. We're looking at what makes you very strong through this purge. And that is that maybe if you were to call on other people, they would not guide you correctly because they would not be able to see ultimately what the purpose of your struggle is and what they might offer they're showing me a hamster wheel. They might get you in your head a little bit. When you hermit a little bit, when you guys pull inward, your strength is that you listen to your intuition. You hear your intuition more clearly. So you can move beyond the third dimension and pull information from the fifth and beyond again and beyond whatever spirit guides or dimensions you connect in with. And that is what ultimately guides you. So this card says, Cat Independent. You are a natural healer. Oh, that's another thing. You guys might naturally heal yourselves. You might not need others to help you heal because you might transmute lower vibrational energies just like cats do very easily through the body. I just got a yes on that. Okay. That's often why cats sleep at the foot of your bed because they guard and protect while you sleep and they transmute lower vibrational energies that creep up on the bed from the feet ultimately to the head. But the cat will actually guard you at the feet and not allow the energy to get up into your upper chakras, okay? Often I'll feel something walking on my bed, at the foot of my bed, and I know my cat's got it. It's the craziest thing. Okay, sorry. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. And that's what's interesting about the aquamarine. The aquamarine is a stone of flow. So when you are in... So they're showing me the high priestess now. If there was an animal that was the high priestess, it would be the cat, okay? There's this energy of flow that you guys find yourselves in, even when you're going through a storm like a purge, because you're connected to your intuition. Okay, you have a very strong silver cord that is connected to the cosmic heart, okay? I'm hearing of the cosmic heart of Andromeda, a la Lisa Renee, okay? So you guys feel very grounded and rooted, both in the earth and in the cosmic realm. And that's what's helping you through this purge right now. It doesn't mean that you're untouchable. So by current purge is, but it feels as though you're able to be more of an observer and zoom out a little bit whilst this purge occurs and it's not pulling you under. That's what I'm feeling, very fierce energy, very fiercely from this group. Now I'm going to use two different tarot decks, okay? For the first message, I'm going to ask, what are you guys purging or what have you recently purged? And I'm going to get two different energies. And then I'm going to ask, what is going to happen after the purge? What can you look forward to? Okay? I'm already breathless. The energy of these purges are very intense. Let me just close my shade here. 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I just suddenly got very hot. So let's see what our spirit guides have to say. Interesting that the aquamarine here, which is a very cooling stone, a lot of water energy. So some of you might be purging through heat, I'll say. Okay, let's see what comes up here. My highest and best spirit guides, what is my group number 2's purging? So we have the 4 of Swords. Crazy. I saw that in my mind and I didn't say that at the beginning. When I said that you guys are towards the end of your purge, that's what I saw. The 4 of Swords. Hand to God. Hate when I don't say it, but it doesn't matter. That's ego. Okay, 4 of Swords. That's validation that you're towards the end of the purge. Take them? No. This one? Oh, Knight of Swords. Okay. What are they purging? Okay. Very interesting message here. With the Independent card here and the Knight of Swords, you guys are go-getters to a fault. I think that's why I felt that heat energy. I was expecting to see a lot of wand energy, a lot of fire energy, but they're showing it to me very clearly with the Knight of Swords. And this guy on this broom here, like just sort of taking off. There's this feeling of purging the need to constantly be moving and going and doing. So you guys have been learning how to get out of the constant energy of movement. You know what I want to do? I do want to get a clarifier on, oh, I have another deck here. Can you tell me about I just want to be sure that my intuition is telling me the right thing here. Can you clarify the Knight of Swords, my highest and best spirit guides? Can you just clarify the Knight of Swords for me? Just make sure I know what I'm saying here. Whoops. What is the Knight of Swords? Just show us very clearly. No, it's too many. Show me the Knight of Swords, please. That's interesting that 2 cards fell out before and 2 cards fell out here. It feels as though, again, there's a rushing ahead. So I don't feel actually like I need this clarifier, but can you just show it to me, please? The Knight of Swords, please. Wow, the Hierophant. Very interesting. Very interesting. So we've got that red energy. Okay, that sort of, that fiery energy. But the Hierophant with the Knight of Swords might be that you guys feel the need to do more, to know more. With the cat, I'm guessing that this is spiritual teaching. You might have taken a lot of classes, done a lot of rituals. I'm hearing a lot of, you might have been rushing ahead to connect in with your intuition, let's say. And part of this might be because you might have some kind of fear of being present, of being quiet. Some of you might be highly spiritually evolved people, but never meditated a day in your life. This group might actually hate meditation. And that's because you guys have been pursuing knowledge above energetic stillness. You might have been pursuing spiritual knowledge or higher states of mind, I'm hearing, or consciousness over still states of being, cultivating stillness, cultivating self-awareness. Okay. Interestingly, the Hierophant is the 9th house, which is the house of travel. And if we look at it spiritually, we're traveling in a sense to pursue studies. Okay. Spiritual knowledge, occultism. Okay. Whatever it might be. The Hierophant is quite severe in some ways, rule-based. And so you might have been doing things that involved a lot of the mind, right? The Hierophant and the swords here is a lot of the mind, doing things very methodically. Let me do this. Let me get this certificate. Let me get this credential. Okay. And you might need to be learning, or you're at that point where you're learning how to be more still, how to cultivate self-awareness, how to be a bit more grounded in the mind, slowing the mind down. So the way this might look with a purge is that you might be taking classes that are not working for you. You might be feeling heart palpitations or feeling a lot of restlessness lately. When you're going through the purge looks like the antithesis of what will happen after the purge. Okay? It's basically what you need to clear in order to bring in something that is far better. So often the purge will be the mirrored reflection of the affirmative or the positive state of being. I hope this makes sense. So you guys are probably learning how to be still. This group would benefit from yoga, from meditation, and anything from Eckhart Tolle. All right. Okay, they're also telling me that you're purging avoidance, states of avoidance. So some of you might be lifelong learners, which is a beautiful thing. But right now it might be to your detriment, because what you really need to learn is how to be still. And so in the lifelong learning, there must be some time to still the mind and to calm the body. Okay. They were about to say something else, but I literally feel sped up in this group. I feel like I'm on speed a little bit. Okay. Long time ago, I used to take a little bit of stimulants to keep my mind sharp because I would get distracted so easily. And it feels like with this group, you might be a little bit avoidant of the rest of your life by immersing a lot in your studies, whatever they may be. It may not just be spiritual studies with the Knight of Swords here. It could be any kind of studies, because there's a lot of mind energy here, a lot of air energy here. Okay. I like, my heart is beating, I have to say, really hard. So for you, it might be heart palpitations, or you might get dizzy. What else is my group number 2's purging? Show me very clearly. What else is my group number 2's purging? Please and thank you. What are they purging? Okay. Queen of Cups. And, whoa, never a reading if a card doesn't fall on the floor, I swear. Knight of Cups. Well, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, my head just spun around a little bit here. The Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. My guides, I need a minute with this, you guys. Okay, you guys might be avoiding love. You might have been throwing yourself into studies, spiritual work, etc., and avoiding states of self-awareness and being in a state of being, because there's been some need for heart chakra healing. I'm hearing love wants to come in. For those of you who don't currently have a loving partnership, they're also saying, actually, for those of you who are in a partnership, they're saying it's about 5%, okay, a small percentage of this group, that you might have not fully allowed yourselves to be seen and experienced within your loving partnership. But for majority of you, you are not in a loving partnership, because they're highlighting the cat here and independence again. Oh, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen after the purge. You guys are purging something immense through the heart right now. And I think that's why I also felt heart palpitations. Very interesting. So the heart palpitations were not just about the movement forward. It was also about heartache that needs to be released right now. Now, the Three of Swords did not show up. The Queen of Cups showed up, which is about self-love. Feeling like you are enough for the Knight of Cups to come in and give you everything. Okay? So it's almost as though they're both in reverse. You're healing self-love, this feeling as though I need to do everything, I'm hearing with the Independent card, that there's nobody that you can rely on. I'm hearing that's all about to change right now. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into after the purge. So we're going to use a different tarot deck here. Interesting, that watery energy just showed up. Tell me, have you guys been on your own for a long time? Have you isolated for a long time? I'm being shown the hermit, okay? Have you thought that you were ready for love, but then you started to feel a sense of lacking worthiness, or this sense, well, nobody's going to meet me. Nobody's going to meet my queen energy. So those of you who are towards the tail end of this purge, you might actually start to feel this sense of worthiness, but the block is still that you might feel like there is no Knight of Cups who's going to come in, gender aside. There's not going to be somebody who can actually emotionally fulfill you. And I get it, you guys, okay? Because you're the cat. You're fierce and highly intuitive, and not everyone can fill a cat's cup. I mean, right? Cats are very, very mysterious creatures, and they're not for the faint of heart, okay? They're very hard to figure out. Not every cat is a lap cat, okay? Neither of my cats are lap cats. And you have to really earn their love. So I reckon that when you guys feel very worthy, when you feel in alignment, when you work on that Four of Swords energy and you start meditating, you really cultivate that self-love, you're going to feel pregnant with loving energy to offer. But then you're going to wonder, is there really anyone who could fill my cup? Because I'm all that and then some. Cats do not shy away from knowing their beauty and magnificence, I'll tell you that. My cat, who has not been shown on camera, Pixie, she's like queen of the kingdom. She's stunning. This cat is beautiful, and she knows it, okay? And she's like, well, who's going to fill my cup? Because I've got a lot to offer, right? So I had to win her. I had to win her love. Let me tell you, there's going to be a Knight of Cups that's going to match you guys. As long as you know that you are worth it, they're going to come in. But let's see. Let's see what the Tarot has to say. So we're going to start with this energy of movement, of the constant pursuit of knowledge and being in the mind a lot. That's purging and not really knowing how to be with the self too much. We're going to see what's going to happen after this purge, okay? My highest and best spirit guide. Sorry, I'm clearing a little bit through the body, you guys. Oh my God, that's crazy. There's a lot of clearing for you guys. Sorry about the yawning. I'm still getting used to the yawns myself. Okay, my highest and best spirit guide. Show me what's going to happen after this purge. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, we already see a slowing down energy with the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, that observer mode. That's what they talked about, being more of an observer, right? They said that. They channeled that, right? Less doing, more observing. There you have it with the 7 of Pentacles, okay? And what else with the 7 of Pentacles after the purge? Okay, I'm hearing that things are going to come to you more easily. That's too many. Things are going to come to you more easily when you stop all the movement. Okay? When you stop all the movement, things are going to come to you more easily. What else with the 7 of Pentacles, please? Okay? Strength. Oh, I love that. Your power, my love, my dear ones, my loved ones out there, your power, your strength, your sense of I am consciousness, I am here, hear me roar, actually comes when you stop and smell the roses, when you slow down. And interestingly, with this little owl looking up at his pentacles, you guys in the stillness are going to recognize not just your power, but how much you've already cultivated. That you guys are already experts in your own right. I think that was my biggest lesson, is not realizing earlier on that I could have been a healer before my 20 certificates of Akashic Records and NLP and whatever, Reiki and Arcturian healing. Before any of those certificates, I didn't allow myself to see myself as the healer that I already was. You don't need all of these certificates and all of this learning to get out there and do your thing. You need to know your worth already, you guys. So after this purge, when the stillness comes in, knocking at your door and saying, slow down, it's when you start sitting in observation mode that you really start to recognize how many pentacles you already have, how much abundance you have as a human being, and that your power lies in the recognition of self, which hinges on the second message of the Queen of Cups here, but we'll get there in a second. Okay? I really want you guys to take this to the bank, literally with the Seven of Pentacles here. When you guys slow down and you take stock of how far you've come, that's when you're going to start to recognize your own power. Okay? Beautiful. Now, let's look at after the purge with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. I'm really actually excited about this piece. Okay, once they purge any states of lack of awareness, lack of worthiness, feeling like there's no one out there that can match them, once they purge that idea, what is going to happen after? What's going to happen after, my guides? Show us very clearly, please. Show us very clearly, please. What's going to happen after the purge? And this feeling of needing to be alone for the rest of their lives and isolation. What's going to happen? What's going to happen after the purge? Okay. Six of Swords. So you're moving on to something better. I don't like it. This little owl's all by himself in this canoe. Show me, where are they going? Five of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so I only read upright. World on the bottom of the deck there. New cycle. What you are leaving behind is this experience of feeling like you're always going to be left out in the cold. That's what you're leaving behind. You're leaving behind this idea that you're going to have to go through life alone. That life is always going to be hard and difficult, and you're always going to have to be fiercely independent and alone. They're showing us very clearly here that, so this is not like the Eight of Cups. The Six of Cups, the Six of Swords is highlighting the safe harbor. It doesn't highlight what you're leaving, it's highlighting where you're going. You're going to safe harbor. There's some little owl waiting for you on this island here. With the Five of Pentacles here, I guess I didn't read as deeply as I should have with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. There was really this sense of needing to be fiercely independent because there wasn't anyone that you can rely on. But that's what you're leaving behind, the Five of Pentacles. I'm going to pull one more card for you guys because I want to see when this group leaves behind this idea that there's never going to be anyone for them. Okay. What's on this island with the Six of Swords? What's on the other side of that island? Show me clearly. What's on the other side of that island? Once they move out of this Five of Pentacles energy, what is on the other side of it, please, Spirit Guide? Show me very clearly. I'm hearing you. It's interesting. I guess I'm trying to push for the love message, but I think it's about rediscovering yourself. Okay, let's see. Let's see what they say. What's on the other side of the Six of Swords, please? Show me clearly. Okay. Oh my goodness, the Three of Swords. That's so crazy because I said that at the beginning that we don't have the Three of Swords here. We have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So yeah, it's really about healing your heart. It's really, I said at the beginning, I was surprised that the Three of Swords is not here. Oh, here it is. What's on the other side is feeling deeply fulfilled in your own right. In your own right. Feeling a sense of belongingness because there is no specific tribe out there for you. You're meant to create your own tribe, right? Cats walk alone for much of their life, But often when you bring them a companion, they're like, I didn't even know I wanted a companion. That's the feeling I'm getting with this group. And there it is. On the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Cups. Because they just told me to look on the bottom of the deck. We have another Queen of Cups. So whatever heart or emotional laden energy you guys have been going through, it is to reignite self-love. And let me just tell you something. Once, look, we have 10 of Pentacles right after that. Okay, so utter wish fulfillment. You know, it's really about you guys learning that when you start loving yourself and really feeling prosperous within yourself, it's only a matter of time that love follows. But for you guys, the purge is really about self-love. Okay? And that's what you're going to experience shortly after this. Whatever this heartbreak was, whether it's the Knight of Cups that left your life or the Queen of Cups that left your life, whatever it might have been, or somebody earlier on who made you feel unworthy or unfulfilled or like there was no one for you, you're definitely going to start experiencing so much self-love and the final healing of any heartache or heartbreak or feeling left out in the cold. And that will ultimately lead you to some kind of great wish fulfillment. But that's where they want me to leave it, with the Queen of Cups, which is self-worth and self-love. Okay, my dear ones, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know in the comments down below. And like the video if you can, okay? And subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I send you guys so much love and so many blessings. Until the next reading, take very good care. Welcome, group number 3. So today we're doing a pretty complex reading. We're looking at what you are currently purging and what you can expect after the purge. I have to say, the first 2 readings were heavy. I actually don't even remember what they were about, but I feel it in my body very strongly. So yeah, I would really just sit down, take a glass of water, and just listen to this reading slowly and carefully with a lot of heart. I'm going to listen back to the reading to see if I should publish it, but if you're hearing this, obviously I did. But I felt wobbly in both of the previous readings. It was hard to toe that line between being the reader and also tapping into the collective energy. So I reckon that everyone is purging quite a bit. And so maybe just really, I don't know, be really grounded and drinking some water while you while you listen to this message. Okay, I'm already experiencing that wobbleness. Asking my highest and best spirit guides to please guide me in this reading for group number 3, clearing the energies of group number 2 now. So you guys chose the humpback whale singer, and that is paired with the blue quartz. So when I asked for this significator card, the question that I asked was, what is the strength or strengths that is helping group number 3 through their purge? Okay, this is a very powerful card, a very healing card. With the blue quartz and the singer, there is something about your voice, your capacity to communicate, your understanding of your purge, your healing about the purge that is getting you through it. So I don't know if any of you guys are actual singers, musicians, or work with frequencies in some unique way. I just heard the words quantum codes. I don't know exactly what that means, but you might be working with healing frequencies or light codes or healing codes to help you through this purge. Now, I normally don't do this, but I want to read the first 2 lines of this book because they're magical. Humpback whales are the record keepers of the world. Whale people can connect to this ancient knowledge, but often do not understand where their knowing comes from. So are any of you highly claircognizant? Do you feel like you can come upon answers easily to challenges that present in your life? Because that's what it feels like. you're able to come up with answers. Okay, the blue quartz is third house energy, wisdom, communication, knowledge, understanding, deep knowing, throat chakra. Okay, there's this energy of you guys being able to understand and clearly work with the knowledge or the lessons that you reap from the purge to move through it more effectively and swiftly. Very much like a whale through water. There's a flow, there's an ease, there's a grace. Albeit this is a massive animal, right? So there's mastership here. There's something, I'm hearing old soul. So you have gained tremendous knowledge and wisdom through challenge, through the ages, through many incarnations. And so when you feel like you're underwater, you breach. You breach that water with ease and flow and this majesty. I keep hearing the word majestic and majesty. And so your strength is your ancient knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding that you pull up whilst moving through a purge. It's not like group number 2 where you're just learning from it. It's knowledge a priori that came before the actual challenge even showed up. That's how they're showing it to me. So I think a lot of you are healers. A lot of you are very articulate. A lot of you are able to express yourself beautifully, if not through words, through song, or through your healing arts. Okay? That's just magnificent. So with that being said, you know what they're showing me? They're showing me that the 3 groups, the first group is deep in the purge. The second group is towards the tail end, and you guys are moving out of it. So when I talk to you about what you're purging, it's probably just behind you, or you're just about to get out of it. Okay? Yeah, they're saying that it's probably right because they're showing me a rear view mirror, which is always my sign of it's right behind you. But let's see what it is. What have you guys purged? Let's see. My group, so we're going to use 2 different tarot decks. We're going to look at the purge, and then we're going to look after the purge. So let's look at what you purged. What is my group number 3's? What have they been purging? Let's use that terminology. I just heard the word everything. Wow. This group has a decidedly different energy than the other 2. And God, did I need it? Because it feels a lot calmer and a lot less crazed. I've been needing the humpback whale energy, let me tell you. So some people go through purges that look like up and down. Some people go through major purges followed by major clearings. It's different for everyone. No one is better than the other. But I've been going through the up and down one. And this feels very grounded, very like the clearing energy that I've been desiring. So it's very nice to be in your energy. So my highest and best spirit guides, show me what group number 3 has been purging. I just heard the word successfully. So you guys have been successfully purging. Okay. Thank you. The Fool. Of course. What else have they been purging with regards to the Fool? What's the other piece? Okay. The 5 of Pentacles. Okay. So this feels cyclical, I will say. You might have had repeated experiences in your life where you felt entirely different than the crowd, let's say. You might have gone through repetitive cyclings of being a part of a group and then being ousted, or feeling like you finally connected with somebody and then not. You might have had repetitive cycles of, oh, this is a new group that I can be a part of, or this is a new person, a new friend, and then only to find yourself right back at the beginning. You never quite found that group of friends, or even one friend that I just heard, didn't leave you high and dry. Wow. That didn't end up disappointing you. So it seems like you've had this cycle of going back to the beginning where you started again on your journey. So you might have moved a lot or gone to different schools, or I just heard army brat. So maybe you literally moved around a lot and had to find your way through friendships or a sense of belongingness. And it never quite felt right. So in your most recent purging, it seems like you went through this experience where there was a profound feeling of that proverbial feeling left out in the cold of the Five of Pentacles and feeling like you needed to start over again. For whatever reason, this doesn't feel heavy to me. It feels like you guys understood what this pattern was all about. Again, that knowledge, that ancient knowing that your tribe is out there. Okay? There's a sense, there's just a sense of security that I'm feeling from you guys. That even though you'll have to start again, it feels as though this round is going to be it. And you know it. You know that you can go it alone and you're fine. You're going to find your people, you guys. But it feels like recently you went through some kind of experience of feeling rejected, dejected by your experience with, but you just got back up. Okay. It's like the way that this woman's hands are up in the air is very much like this whale coming out of the water. You're like, okay, I'm just going to try again. I just heard that song. This came up in a reading a few months back. Dust yourself off and try again. Is that Maya? Who was that? If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. That's you guys. So not a lot phases you. This is how I'm feeling, but this seems behind you, I will say. I'm at the bottom of the deck. We have Two of Cups there, okay? But we'll shuffle that in and see what other patterns, what else have you guys been purging? What else have you guys been purging? Too many? One at a time, please. What else have my group number 3s been purging? Yeah, just feeling, there's this feeling or this belief or this idea of not feeling like I belong. That's being purged now. They just wanted me to clarify that. What else have they been purging? Whoa, that one just turned on its side. Oh my God, you guys, the Two of Cups just came out. That's crazy. Did you guys just see that? That was at the bottom of the deck, and then it turns on its side in the middle of the deck. Wow. That's crazy. Two of Cups. I have a feeling then these energies are related. What else are they purging with the Two of Cups? The Magician. So this came up a little bit in group number 2, feeling like you cannot manifest the best partner for you. So yeah, there's this overall energy with this group that you just don't feel like you belong anywhere or with anyone, which is just wrong. Okay? So your manifestation abilities in manifesting a partner, you've been feeling like you haven't been able to do this. There's something purging within this collective of group number 3 that says, I don't belong to anyone. I don't belong anywhere or with anyone. And that is being cleared now. And you're coming back to this sense of being majestic, of being magnificent and beautiful. And you're not meant to be with any group, and you're not meant to be with just anyone. Because you are literally the magicians, this group. You will manifest the right people in all different forms very shortly, by the way, because they're showing me very shortly, within 6 months, okay? And they're highlighting in this card, I don't think I read this. Your inner navigation will always guide you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. I get very much with this group that once you align to your utter authenticity and to what you're here to do, you're going to magnetize your people. Okay? But that's what you've been purging, this idea. Let's see what's going to happen after the purge, shall we? They're kind of related, but I'll put it in two pieces. So with the sense of belongingness or lack thereof and needing to constantly start again with regards to connecting to people, what's going to happen after this particular purge? Using the owl deck here, my guides show me what's happening after this purge, which is happening now for you guys, okay? This might have already started, the change. What is happening after this purge? Show me clearly. What is happening after this purge? Okay. The Hermit. And the Five of Swords. So again, we have fives here, okay? Challenge energy. But since we're looking at after the purge, we're looking at the reversal. You're finally going to have peace with people. I don't know if you've been having a lot of fighting or a lot of challenges with other people, but that's ending now. The Hermit says that you're finally going to feel peace within that is going to be reflected in your relationships with other people. Tell me more about the Five of Swords. You know what? Let's get a clarifier on the Five of Swords. Tell me a little bit more about the Five of Swords here. There's some kind of peace that you're coming to with regards to your relationships with other people. Whatever battling or fighting you've had with others, it's not going to perturb you anymore. You're going to feel very centered and calm after this purge. Tell me a little bit more about the Five of Swords. Yeah, they're showing me these two birds that are leaving here in the Five of Swords. Battling energy is going to leave your life. You're going to finally feel peaceful, maybe for the first time in a long time. But tell me more about the Five of Swords here, please. Okay. Yeah. The Nine of Pentacles. So they're not telling me about new friendship coming in right now. The Nine of Pentacles being that ultimate independent card, but abundance. Feeling truly abundant within yourself. Okay? A little bit, I've been pushing a little bit for outcomes in these readings, but my guides are like, no. This is what's happening after the purge. It's not going to be like lack of friendship, tons of friends. They're actually showing me energetically what's happening for this group. You're going to feel tremendous peace within. And so it's not going to be predicated on whether you have the right people in your life, it's not so much friendship, it's whether or not people accept you. You're not going to worry so much about this. And the less you worry about whether you're accepted by other people or fit into any one group or any one niche, okay, with regards to friendship, and you just shine in all of your beauty and all of your might, that's when you're going to finally feel at peace. Let's get one outcome card here. Oh, that's interesting. On the bottom of the clarifier deck, we have the Four of Swords, okay? More indications of peace, okay? Let's ask for an outcome card, okay? Because I'm annoying like that. I'm an Aries. I'm going to push. Let me just push. If they give me nothing, that's fine. But an outcome card here for the first purge is peace. Is that the only message you want to give? Show me clearly. I see. Yes. These are all singular cards, the High Priestess, okay? You're going to feel very powerful in your intuition. You're going to feel very independent, very abundant in your independence, okay? Because you have cultivated this sense of beauty and power from within, okay? You're going to feel a lot of peace from within. And that's going to open up your intuition. That's going to open up your claircognizance, your sense of, I have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, ancient wisdom and knowledge to impart onto the world. That's the High Priestess here. mirrored with the humpback whale. So yeah, this is about you accepting your majesty from within, and that's what's going to make you feel at peace after this purge. Okay, it's not about new friends coming in, although they may. That's not what they want to show me here. Okay, as try as I might, that's not what they want you to know. They want you to know that you're going to feel majestic from within, and you're going to feel a peace in that majesty from within. Okay, now, let's say with the Two of Cups and the magician here, I can't help but see these red roses here, feeling like there's no person for you out there. Okay, you can't manifest the right person. Tell me, after the purge of this belief or this idea, what is going to happen after they purge this belief? What is going to happen? Show me clearly. I'm gunning for the Lovers, you guys. Show me clearly, please. Okay. The Nine of Wands. Okay. And the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Wow, they are not making it easy for me, you guys, today. Okay. What they're telling me is that once the purge, once the clearing of the idea of not being accepted in this world in whatever way, here it's in manifesting a partner, they're telling me that you're going to come upon a deep and profound level of appreciation of your journey, of what you've been through with the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles here. You're going to look upon your journey with a great deal of respect and reverence. And in so doing, you are going to start a whole new journey of abundance. Not just in love, because they're not highlighting love, they're highlighting pentacles. It's the way you are in the world in general. The Nine of Wands really speaks of this idea of, wow, I've been through the fire and I made it on the other side, and I'm more abundant for it. So with both of these after the purge readings, there's a sense of knowing the self and knowing the majesty and abundance that lives within you, not in spite of, but because of the tremendous journey that you have all traversed. So you will experience, if you're not already, this tremendous self-respect, and self-respect, I just covered my mic, sorry, and the sense of majesty of self because of what you have been through. And that's what's going to make you feel abundant in this life, is honoring your path, honoring what you've been through, and how you've not only just made it to the other side, but you made it to the other side as wisdom keepers, as record keepers. You were meant to bring the depth and the breadth of your experience out into the light and be healers and passing on wisdom to others. That's actually what you're here to do. You're not really meant to be in any specific group. You're really meant to guide. Can you show me, just because, yeah, I just have to do it. Can you show me further outcome of this purge? Anything else you want to tell us with the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles? Let's just get one more card for you guys. Like, what is the Ace of Pentacles? What are they beginning? Show me clearly, please. Okay. Justice. Listen, throughout the incarnations, you guys, I really believe that you guys have suffered tremendously because of your gifts. And that's why you didn't belong anywhere, because you guys were always ahead of the curve, okay? You had wisdom and you had wherewithal, and you have, magic, literally, with the High Priestess and the Magician here, that was just so highly unusual and at the same time so highly coveted by the masses, that you could never really be neck and neck. You could never be on par with people around you. And in this life, you're finally going to get your justice. You're finally going to get your balance. You're finally going to get, sorry, my cats are running around because they want their lunch. You're finally going to get this sense of, I've arrived. But I will say that there's not a lot of people that are going to be on your level. They're going to be highly selected people for you. But after this purge, you're really going to understand how powerful you are and how much you bring to the table that you're going to give to others. And on that road, highly selected people are going to show up. And that is going to be your justice. Okay? Both your abundance on your path and these highly selected people that are going to show up for you. Because I believe that this justice card is showing up karmically. That something has happened to you over many incarnations that is finally being rectified in this life. Let me know in the comments down below if this resonated with you, okay? So I'm going to close out the reading there for you guys. I hope this reading resonated. If nothing else, I send you guys so much love and so many blessings throughout this purge and in the aftermath. Until the next reading, take very good care.